Wow, what an absolutely extraordinary finish we just witnessed for Line Honours. My gosh, I've never seen anything that close. It was the second closest finish in the race's history. For those of you who haven't been watching, we've just witnessed a spectacular finish with LawConnect taking Line Honours just 51 seconds before Andoo Comanche. But they were crossing the whole way up the Derwent. It was so exciting. Dale and I were down here amongst the crowds on the dock, and it was just extraordinary. It was full of people and everyone's watching, very closely, everyone very nervous. Back behind us we have the race village where they had big broadcast across the screen and a full audience of people watching there, a big crowd. And while Dale and I ran to the end of the dock here to capture both the yachts crossing the finishing line, and we've got a big cruiser, big ship right in front, and all we could see was the top of both the masks, and we saw one yacht take over the other, but we couldn't see who it actually was. So at that point it was really nerve-wracking because we didn't know who had won. And then as they came past the yacht there, we saw that it was actually LawConnect in the lead. So Crosbie, you were out on one of the media boats, very, very close, capturing the action. If anyone wants to see our live video, please do. Cros does a great commentary as they cross the finishing line. What was it like from your perspective?
Well, it was pretty amazing because that's the longest I've ever talked in front of a finish, because it was completely engrossing out there. From a sailing perspective, it was extraordinary, really. It was like match racing. And these are 100-footers, so match racing in light airs, that's pretty tricky. The most amazing thing, really, was just realising suddenly when you thought that Andoo Comanche had it maybe less than a mile from the finish, with the wind getting really glassy, that LawConnect just went up the west side and she just got new breeze. She held momentum. She closed about a mile in a matter of a few minutes, and then it was game on. And really what they had to do, what Andoo Comanche was trying to do, was the classic match racing, is you've got to be between your opponent and the finish, but that's really hard to do when the breeze suddenly drops out, comes in, drops out, comes in. So they were going jibe for jibe, Andoo just trying to stay in front. It literally wasn't certain who was going to get it until probably about the last 3 minutes, when Andoo just got enough breeze to be able to come round and go square onto the line, roll in. Even she rolled over the finish with her jib being furled, and poor old Andoo Comanche just left there sitting in next to no wind. Stunning, really stunning, and pretty unexpected, I have to say. Yeah.
Yes, just correction there. It was LawConnect.
LawConnect. Apologies. Yes, let's get this right. Get the winner right. That would be a good idea. Yeah.
So the next 4 yachts in. We've got URL, we've got Alive, we've got Moneypenny, and we've got Wild Thing 100. What's it looking like? Who's tracking there for IRC overall?
Well, actually, not URL, but URM. There you go.
Okay, dyslexic moment.
I got it back.
Yeah, we're on fire.
Yes, indeed. So, John Kerner, who we work with a lot on Sail World, he and I were chatting yesterday, and he said, I'm picking it. He said, I'm picking it. It's the daily double, which is that the Line Honours gets IRC overall. Actually, he's quite right. It was looking like that, and I would have said the same thing yesterday as well. The boats actually took a bit longer to get in. I thought the southwesterly was going to be kicking in and really bringing them romping home, which it didn't. It was very, very light, especially at the top of the river. So they probably lost 4 hours in that. I think I'm right in saying that URM has to be in, or one of them has to be in, sort of like early morning tomorrow. Well, I mean, they're expected in mid-afternoon this afternoon. So could well be that one of these guys that are following actually gets it. URM would have loved the upwind stuff. She's not had a whole heap of it. And Alive's just been so well campaigned. Moneypenny too. Wild Thing 100, well, she was still being built virtually. Even Carl Crawford even said, they were still building the thing while they were getting the boat to the start line. A slight exaggeration, of course. She was probably a little bit underpowered, I think. She's got a smaller rig, even though she's been extended to 100 foot. So she kind of got left a little bit back in the pack. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, in fact, who might just get up for IRC overall. Yeah.
Another exciting, more news to come. So that's sort of Line Honours and who we're expecting for IRC overall. What's the rest of the fleet looking like a bit further back?
Bit of a mixed bag. They go quite a long way back, really, all back through the strait at the moment. There's a cooking sort of westerly, southwesterly that's really going to be working its way up the coast. Southwesterly to south, it's going to get pretty big, about 25 knots at times. That's going to be hard yards for the smaller boats, as I think they all expected. It's going to be an interesting race. Very interesting too to talk about to a couple of the guys off LawConnect, because they had that first night was really, we didn't get much off the boats, but that first night was really hard yards. And Tony Mutti was saying that they were getting sort of microbursts of 30 knots coming from one direction, then the next. And he said at one point there was so much breeze, I virtually launched the entire boat out of the water. He's the driver. That's pretty full on. So you've got to survive that stuff to be able to get to this point. For the rest of them, yes, we've had some retirements, none today, but I suspect we might get a few more before we're finished. And they've just got lots of hard yards. We wish them well, really.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, that's our live update for today. Please keep an eye on our socials. We're, of course, across Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. We'll be bringing you more live and, of course, another daily update tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you so much.
See you later.